between the Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
41 Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And his first look is incomplete. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
Let's focus our attention on the offensive line and Brandon Sheriff, the first-round pick in 2015. In fact, the first lineman taken at number 5 overall, an offensive tackle in college, transitioned very well to guard in the NFL. Solid, reliable, 2 traits you love in an offensive lineman. How about tough, physical, and nasty? He's an Iowa offensive lineman. Those guys play well in the NFL.
That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their performance.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
On 2nd and 7, Watson going deep here for Stills. It got his man complete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
Johnson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He hits White, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
They'll run it with Johnson. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On the return, it's White. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a first and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. On first down, it's Watson. Steps away to his left. He'll try and run it. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Here we go.
On second down, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Push him back.
On first and 10, Watson. He's got White here. Pass it. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball on a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Wilson's got it complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they are looking at a second down and 6 coming up. To throw again on second down. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he is all the way up past the 25.
All day.
He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Watson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run it here. This is James White. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the 2nd quarter. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 4. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on third down. The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Now Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Pulled in at the 24. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Just like that.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now left side on the swing pass. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Wilson will throw again. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. To throw again is Wilson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Will Dissly as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown.
An abbreviated halftime show is... rolling to quarter 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go to Johnson again. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. Third down here. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And all the way down to the 37. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 46 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two. They'll run it now out of the gun. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Right there in the middle, 55. And let's get it.
Here's Wilson operating from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
3rd and 2, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 33. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
I'm here all day.
Here's Gallman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Gallman will run it. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
To throw on 3rd down, Watson. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Wilson. To throw again. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Again, Wilson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got
pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, D.
Here's Johnson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
They'll run it with Johnson, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Duke Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll keep it on the ground. Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, 27 yards. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. To throw is Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And now out comes Houston. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. Now White lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, but now it's third down. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
Bringing him to the ground defensively, Tedrick Thompson.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Hey, pick it up.
On second down now, it's White. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. The 20. He finds his target, Fuller. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson, that's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll be